Some interesting new information about Sandrone, dropped and confirmed. She's in 6.7 honestly new info, making me so hyped. It's me, your Arlecchino. Today we are going to discuss the latest Sandrone information, including her early kit details, the new teammate coming in Snezhnaya, and first weekly boss in Snezhnaya. This video has tons of useful information about what's coming next. First, let's talk about the 6.7 banner lineup, which is really solid. In Phase 1, we are getting Sandrone as the new 5-star character, codenamed the Marionette. She's a key figure in the Nod Cry storyline and plays a really important role in the narrative. Alongside her in Phase 1, we have Columbina getting her first rerun, which is great for players who missed her. In Phase 2, which is rerun only, we have Raiden Shogun as the Archon rerun. She's been waiting a long time for a rerun after Mavuika came, so she fits perfectly here in 6.7. We also have Citlali as a normal rerun candidate, which makes Phase 2 really solid as well. Now let's talk about Sandrone's early kit details. The information we have is heavily subject to change, so keep that in mind. Sandrone's latest information is some of the most interesting and game-changing information we've had in a really long time, because it suggests Genshin Impact may finally be completely changing how superconduct works as a reaction. For years, Cryo plus Electro has been one of the weakest reactions in the entire game, mostly used only for physical resistance shred, but now a new upgraded and completely different version, called Stellar Conduct, is rumored to be coming with Sandrone. The way it works is in 2 phases. First is the build-up phase, where repeated Cryo and Electro reactions create hidden Stellar Conduct stacks in the background. Then, once enough stacks are built, it triggers a detonation phase that causes a large area of effect damage hit. What makes it more interesting is that this damage may scale from a percentage of ATK instead of elemental mastery, meaning ATK builds could finally become reaction-focused. There's also supporting info from version 6.6 beta, where Diona's C6 reportedly includes bonus damage for Stellar Conduct, which adds more credibility to the system. For Sandrone's elemental skill, tapping it reportedly summons Paulownia, a turret-like mechanical unit that fires cryo or electro projectiles. Some triggers may also launch stronger rockets for bonus damage. Holding the skill seems to activate a piloting mode, where Sandrone gains interruption resistance and replaces her normal attacks with heavier mechanical strikes. So she may have both off-field support and on-field driver potential, depending on how you use the skill. Her elemental burst, called Paulownia Absolute Dominion, is said to consume all built Stellar Conduct stacks and fire a barrage of missiles. It also includes an Archi-charge mechanic, where empty slots increase the number of missiles fired. The burst cost is currently expected to be 70 energy. Based on early estimates, the Stellar Conduct detonation can happen around once every 6 seconds, but faster cryo and electro application should shorten that cycle. For constellations, early info suggests Sandrone gets stronger utility and automation as you invest more. C1 gives a damage bonus after burst based on cryo and electro damage stats. C2 is considered the big power spike because Stellar Conduct triggers generate charge points, and at 3 points, a mechanical unit automatically appears and deals heavy area of effect damage. That means smoother rotations and less dependence on burst timing. C4 gives the whole team a 30% ATK buff when teammates trigger Stellar Conduct, while also creating off-field fragments. C6 greatly boosts previous constellation effects and instantly fills charge points after burst, causing a huge missile barrage. For most players, C2 currently looks like the best stopping point. There's also a new artifact set called Shattered Illusion in the Shadows, which appears designed for Sandrone and Superconduct teams. The 2-piece gives 18% ATK, while the 4-piece increases superconduct damage by 40%, and attacking enemies affected by superconduct increases that hit's critical rate by 16%. If this stays similar on release, it would let Sandrone build like a normal DPS with ATK and critical, instead of stacking elemental mastery, making her much easier to optimize. As for her signature weapon, it's still hidden, but current info points toward a 5-star weapon with critical damage substat, possibly reaching very high values. The passive may boost reaction damage based on how often Stellar Conduct triggers, while also restoring energy whenever the reaction activates. That would help with her 7-0 cost burst and make rotations much smoother. Early estimates suggest the weapon could outperform 4-star options by around 25 to 35%. Overall, Sandrone currently looks like a character built to completely modernize superconduct teams. Now let's talk about Sandrone's teammate coming in Snezhnaya. As per latest info from reliable source DK2, there's a teammate for Sandrone and Snezhnaya, just like Inefa and Flynn's pattern. Since this Nod Cry patch is only 6.7 with no 6.8 version, maybe that's why we are getting Sandrone support, or a character that works best for her in Snezhnaya. I'm guessing that character will be really important in Snezhnaya, since that's what happened with Inefa. She's really needed in Nod Cry teams to work best, so we should expect a similar pattern here. Also, another info from DK2 is that they didn't change Sandrone's personality, so no worries about that. She's going to keep her character intact. Also, as per the early information, her best team comps will be the following. The first team is the Stellar Conduct Corps, which currently has the highest projected DPS ceiling. This team consists of Sandrone as the main DPS, Columbina as the Hydro Buffer, Escoffier as the Cryo Sub DPS, and Fischl as the Electro Off-Field unit. Columbina is expected to provide massive damage buffs, while Fischl's Zero ICD Electro application helps stack Stellar Conduct quickly, making this comp extremely strong, but this is a really costly team. Even I wanted Sandrone, but I don't have Escoffier, so it is strong, but needs 2 5 stars other than Sandrone. The second team is the High ATK Survival comp, which focuses more on huge ATK buffs and survivability, especially for free-to-play players. This setup uses Sandrone as the main DPS, Nicole as the ATK support, Diona at C6 as healer and shielder, and Flynn's as the Electroflex slot. Nicole's kit is said to buff ATK without interfering with elemental reactions, which could make her an ideal teammate for Sandrone, despite being Pyro. This team is what I'm thinking I can pull off if I win 50-50 on Sandrone. The third team is the Dual Carry Relay comp, made for players who also own Eula or Ryothesli. This team includes Sandrone as burst DPS, Eula or Ryothesli as the main carry, Shenhe as cryo support, and Fischl as electro sub DPS. In this rotation, Sandrone can deploy her turret, use her burst for a huge nuke, then swap out so the main carry can finish the rest. So far, based on everything we know, these look like her strongest early teams. However, this is early info, and it can change once beta arrives and new teammates are revealed. So for now, take this as early information only, cuties. Now, by the way, don't forget our 15 Welkin giveaway at 55k subscribers. We're so close, so hype up the video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's talk about some really interesting spoiler information about Snezhnaya. If you don't want spoilers, you can skip this part, but honestly, it's such interesting information that you probably don't want to skip. According to early info, the first weekly boss in Snezhnaya is called Ruler of Death. So far from what I remember, Ruler of Death is Renova. If this info is correct, that means she's not going to be playable. That's what happens in Genshin. We have seen this many times in the past now. Damn, that's something I don't want to hear honestly. I was hoping Renova might be playable someday, but if she's the weekly boss, the chances of her being playable are really slim. However, things can change drastically from early beta to final release, so don't take this as final information yet. Overall, Sandrone is shaping up to be game-changing character that could completely revolutionize and modernize how superconduct teams work in the future. So what do you guys think about Sandrone's early kit? Are you hyped for Stellar Conduct and the new reaction system? Are you planning to pull for her and her new teammate in Snezhnaya? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I want to hear what you're thinking. That's all. Thanks for watching, and peace out.